Hello everyone, we're here at the Long Road and I'm joined by Mr. Morgan Evans. How you doing, Morgan?
Doing great. It's great to be here.
It's been a while since I've seen you. Buckle and Boots a couple of years ago was the last time.
Yeah, that was a good memory though.
Yeah. Your very first UK trip, wasn't it?
It was. That was my first UK show actually. Yeah, I remember it very well and very fondly.
And you've been back a couple of times since, haven't you? So what have you made of the UK market and how the fans have responded to you?
Yeah, man, I mean, I love it over here. This is my fourth trip and we kicked off our world tour here. So we've just done Dublin, Glasgow, Liverpool and London the last 4 nights. So tonight's the 5th in a row and man, it's been so good. The fans over here are just, they remind me a lot of Australian country music fans in the way that I feel like maybe they don't get as much country music as the Americans do, and so when you come to town they appreciate it and they show up and they sing every song, not just the radio songs or whatever, and it's an amazing feeling being a songwriter and all that, to see that kind of connection.
And how much are you looking forward to playing at the festival today? Because I mean it's such a huge crowd out there and it's always a slightly different vibe at a festival, so how much do you enjoy that kind of thing?
I mean, I love playing festivals. The only other festival here I've played is Buckle and Boots. So we just got here. I just sort of peeked around the corner there, and the whole stage set up, and like all these, whatever you call these, everything looks really cool. There's a great vibe here, and I'll keep that vibe going.
Yeah, of course. And you've just released a new music video, haven't you, for Day Drunk, which you filmed in reverse.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the creative kind of process behind that.
Man, with the videos on this album, I just wanted to try to do crazy stuff, and the Kiss Somebody video was a 15-second shot that was slowed down, which was super challenging. Like, it took us all day to get this one shot, but with the Day Drunk one, you had to learn the song backwards and then do all this other stuff whilst singing it backwards. It's probably the most challenging thing I've ever done, to be honest, but I do think the energy of that video sort of matches the song, which is really cool.
That's awesome. Day Drink's been a huge success for you, hasn't it? Because it's always so hard to follow up that initial kind of huge hit, but it's obviously in Australia it's won awards, hasn't it, back home? So tell us a little bit about how the fans have reacted to it around the world.
Yeah, man. I mean, Kiss Somebody was the first single which we put out before the album, so we sort of made that decision, like this is going to be the first one. And then I think once the album came out and you had to pick a second single, it's really easy now to tell what people are into, whether you look on YouTube or the streams or whatever, and Day Drunk just raised its hand as the song that people wanted to hear, and so we made it the second single, and it's the biggest song I've ever had in Australia, and it's still growing in America, and it's the biggest song I've had here too, I think, if the crowd reaction the last few nights is anything to go by. So it's also one of those fun songs to play at a festival too. So man, it's been a really fun one.
I'm sure you get this question all the time, but what's coming next now? Because I mean, you must be coming towards the end of that album cycle now. Right. So what's the next stage for you? Yeah,
we just maybe 3 days ago booked 2 days in the studio for the end of this month to record the first few songs of the next record, and the first one's probably going to come quicker than people expect. I'm pretty excited about it, but also a little nervous. It's always, when you put something out into the world, there's always that kind of little bit of tentativity or whatever, if that's even a word. But man, I'm stoked to get back in the studio.
What can we expect from the new stuff in comparison to the first album? Are you hoping to kind of show some kind of a progression from the first album?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't want to make the same album again. I think I've learned a lot about myself and a lot about music and the kind of music I want to be playing. I've never been on the road as consistently as I have. I've been playing music a long time, but in Australia you can't just tour all year. You sort of go and then you've done it and then you wait a little while and go again. But man, when you're traveling around the States and here and Australia, there's no stopping, and it really makes you realize what you want to be singing about, the kind of message you want to leave behind, and the kind of feeling you want to leave behind. And hopefully we'll kind of get in towards more of what I want to be saying, and we've got a whole band coming in for this tracking session, which I didn't play with the band at all on the first record. It was just my producer and I playing everything, so I think that'll give it a different feel too.
And just finally, what's the plan long term in terms of international touring? Because you've come over here, you've done Buckle and Boots, you've done C2C, you've done the Long Road now. I feel like you're kind of checking them off the list. So what's the plan now? You're hoping to come and do some more headlining stuff in the future? Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, we're headlining all the rest of the year. So after here, we're going to Berlin, over to Canada, back down to Australia, and then we're doing the States and then the other side of Canada. Wow. And that'll take us through till Christmas. And I think we'll have learned a lot by then.
Yeah.
But no, we were in London last night and had a bunch of meetings yesterday about like how soon can we come back? Like
awesome.
how soon can we come back that people will want to come to see these shows and yeah, we'll be back real soon.
That's what we like to hear. Well, thank you for doing this, Morgan. It's always good to see you, and
Hey, thank you.
we're looking forward to seeing the set this afternoon.
Cheers, mate.
Nice one.